Hey guys, and welcome to the video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the upcoming live-action remake of Snow White, the lead actress Rachel Zegler, and her comments regarding the project. So get ready to step into a fairy tale, or a nightmare episode of Review Flicks, depending on how you see the situation. But before then guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here. So we're going to be looking into this article here guys. Rachel Zegler says Prince stalked Snow White in the original film, reveals live-action version is really not about the love story at all. So it's pretty bizarre that she's taking part in a live-action remake of Snow White when she doesn't agree with anything or any of the characters that were in the original. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If I was an actor or an actress, why would you participate in a project that you don't agree with, like the original? You don't agree with any of the story or anything. It doesn't make any sense. But let's jump in and see what this article has to say. So, upcoming Snow White actress Rachel Zegler had some pointed comments about the film when she discussed it back in September 2022 at D23 Expo, describing that Disney depicted the prince in the original animated movie as a stalker. That's a pretty opinionated view of the movie. I don't think he came off as a stalker. I haven't seen the film for a few years, I have to admit, but I don't know of anyone who's ever spoke to me in a conversation about Snow White saying, "Oh, the prince looked like a stalker." Yeah. Zegler shared her comments with Extra TV when she was asked, quote, "I know you told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?" So we're going to play this clip here, guys, and we can listen to what her reply was to that question. So,
it's Snow White herself. Hello. How are you, first of all? And like, what was it like out there with everyone watching this first look?
Well, hilariously, I do not know what they watched. I did not see it. We were not allowed to watch. We had to stand on our spot backstage. So it sounded like they really liked it, which is really, really exciting. I saw the title card, which looked great. I got really emotional hearing everybody's reactions to it, which was really, really incredible. And so I feel very blessed to be a part of something that seems to be very important to a lot of people, including myself.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince, or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because like we cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's one of those things.
So true.
It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible.
I know I'm almost wrapped, but I quickly have to ask you about the Hunger Games prequel.
So I'm just going to pause it off there, guys. Yeah, she comes across as, to me, such a fake, insufferable, opinionated kind of person, and she doesn't seem very likable at all. And to be a public figure, like an actress or something like that, promoting a movie, to make these kind of comments, these like flippant comments about, you know, the prince is a stalker and it's weird, and you know, they're completely changing up the original movie to make it, you know, it's not a love story. The whole Snow White story was a love story. To change that dynamic of the story, you're basically then using Snow White's name and recognizable IP as your film, but your film is completely different to what the original was. So why even call it Snow White? Is it just the fact that Disney want to bank on the IP without making something original? I'm not really sure. But yeah, the way that she just talks as well during this interview, she just comes off as a bit like, I don't know, a bit whiny, a bit insufferable. Yeah, there's something just unlikable about her. I'm not sure what it is. Zegler responded, the original cartoon came out in 1937, very evidently so. The way that she says that was just, oh yeah, no. There's a big focus on a love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. Nope, I don't think that's completely true. So we didn't do the same this time, Zegler admitted. When asked if the prince would even be in the film, Zegler answered, "We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume as a love story just because we cast a guy in the movie." So a Snow White movie without a prince, without a love story, like, I don't understand. It's like, it's like, we're going to make a Little Mermaid film, but we're not going to have any, you know, we're not going to have the ocean in the movie. It's like, well, what would be the point in calling it the Little Mermaid then? Like, if you're changing like the essence of what the actual story is, then what is the point of calling it Snow White? I don't understand. Guys, jump in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong with that, but yeah, I don't get it. So she continued, quote, "It's one of these things that I think everybody is going to have their assumptions about." She knows exactly what that means. Assumptions. Yeah, people are going to assume that it's like a woke piece of garbage. What it's actually going to be, but it's really not. It's not really about a love story at all. So then what's the point in making it a Snow White story? Which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess till 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. I think it's supposed to say cut there, but they missed it. Could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood. So, yeah, I think that they're gonna have the prince, but the prince is gonna be like cast aside for like, I don't know, for something else. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it sounds like they're cutting him out or making him a low priority within the movie to some respect. I'm not sure how, but Zegler then revealed what the film is really about. It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self. And she meets a lot of people along the way. Dwarfs that aren't actually dwarfs, they're magical people now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to have no prince and you're going to have no dwarfs and it's not a love story. Then what the hell is it? It's not a Snow White then. Like, oh my God, I'm just getting annoyed talking about it. The way that the journey, really incredible, blah, 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 whatever. I just don't get it. Zegler, alongside Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen in the upcoming film, previously informed Variety that Zegler's Snow White would not be rescued by a prince. Of course not, because how dare a man look after a woman? That's not allowed to happen anymore. That can't happen. When asked what she meant by describing the film as a modern age, Zegler said, "I just mean it's no longer 1937. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White." Gadot interjected, "She's not going to be saved by the prince." Okay. Zegler then affirmed she's not going to be saved by the prince and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. Okay, guys, so we got another clip here. Let's just play this quickly and see what else that she had to say that we don't really care about. But we'll listen to it anyway.
You're crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw we didn't even see, but I saw the logo and I went, that's my name. Snow White's up there. And I cried my eyes out.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. Self on screen and reaction was insane.
Not evil. You are not evil. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time?
We did not see the clip, so I still was just like the best it could ever be. Was incredible because it was all real. Everything I feel from what I enjoyed
on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just laughing to myself. She's just, oh my God, she's going to be a leader. It's going to be so incredible. Just like, she's going to open up her own company and, start a corporation instead of finding true love and being rescued by a prince, like the actual story should tell you. She's going to become a leader and she's going to manage her own company. It's going to be like an episode of The Apprentice. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah. Nobody wants to see that. So, quote, and so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in. Zegler concluded, it'd be even more incredible to see the actual story that was based on the original content. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly, Zegler also revealed that the film is also changing the definition of fair for the film. The original animated film made it clear that the term referred to beauty and was providing a lesson vanity. What? This will no longer be the definition of Zegler's live-action movie. vanity. Why is it? It's not vanity to take care of your appearance and to look good, is it? How is that vanity? Like, if you're a good looking person and you look after yourself, it's not vanity. So she explained the reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White, it became about the fairest of them all, meaning who is the most just and who can become a fantastic leader. What exactly is she becoming a leader of? This is what I don't understand. Like, I know I keep saying about this, guys, but like, we're getting rid of the love story and the prince. We're throwing that to the side or throwing that into the garbage, and she's going to become a leader. But what exactly is she becoming a leader of? Like, there's not even dwarves to be a leader of. There's like magical people, and like, I don't understand what is she leading exactly. So Zegler continued, quote, and the reality is, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into a power over a kingdom. Godot, who plays the evil queen, added also the fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince and that she's a proactive one, and she's the one who sets the terms for what makes it so relevant to where we are today. Like, this is just gobbledygook nonsense. Like, this concept of Snow White is a very straight concept. She gets rescued by the dwarves, looked after, she gets saved by the prince, she finds true love. Like, that's literally all we need. Like, we need something simple and just a remake live action. I get it. But to she's a leader and she has to come into her own power and it's all magnificent. Like, I don't understand all this stuff. Like, while Zegler reportedly claimed the original 1937 film was dated, she revealed to Entertainment Weekly that she had seen it since was a child, before being cast in the movie. Quote, I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and never picked it up again. I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on a ride at Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. She then said, so I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. What do you make of Zegler describing the prince as a stalker and revealing the film will no longer feature a love story? Is there any community comments? Oh, there is some comments, actually. There's quite a few here. So, what is this person saying here? So, speaking of Entertainment Weekly, Zegler also revealed that films also changed the definition of fair of the film. The original animated film made it clear that reference to beauty was providing a lesson in vanity. There will no longer be a definition of Zegler's live action movie. Has to be changed if they want to have Rachel Zegler be Snow Brown. Okay, guys, I don't support any kind of racism or any comments like that. This is a community post. I don't endorse or support any of this, so just letting you know. Now, if I wanted to hire an attractive woman for the part, you could leave it as it is. I don't see the point. Like, I'm not in this article. I'm not attacking Rachel Zegler as a person. I'm making light of her comments, not the actual person that she is, just to make that clear anyway. So it's not really Snow White then. It's just a cobbled together story that happens to have some of the characters from Snow White in it. Let's see how this will play out. I think, I don't know how much money it's going to make. I mean, the live action remakes haven't done so well recently. I think they've been critically accepted okay, but I don't think they've made hardly any money. The latest Hollywood attempt to make a star, they've had an awful track record so far. Yeah. Like, people, like, if you go on YouTube and type in Rachel Zegler, it's video after video after video of just saying how insufferable she is, and people, people don't like her. She comes off as very unlikable. Like, she's very me, and everything's about her, and she needs to be paid more, and people don't appreciate her, and all this kind of, and like, yeah, it's just, make of it what you will, guys. So Eric Travis, in order to make this movie work for modern audiences, we have to redefine man, woman, stalker, love, fairest, beauty, dwarf, romance, historical, monarchical structures. literally have to redefine and change every single aspect of what this movie is. So it's literally nothing. It's not even a movie. It's just like political commentary on 1937. At the end of the day, it's just an hour and a half of just someone dressed as Snow White cosplay, just talking about 1937 political stance. Yeah, great. That'd be really fun to watch. Did I miss anything? Is she going to eat an apple, or will it be a pumpkin spice based tofu? Oh yeah, we can't have you know, we can't have apples because, you know, they could have too much citrus or the pips. It's not safe. So we have to replace it with something safe like a tofu or something. Bunny with a keyboard. Oh, Bunny with a keyboard was on my Barbenheimer video. Rachel Zegler admits to being scared of the original. I think adults should be scared to let their children see the remake. That could be true, but I can't come to that conclusion until the movie comes out. So I will reserve judgment for that one. Wow, this woman really stay in competition with Brie Larson. Who is it also with Disney? If it comes to destroying a female character, and how can I turn the whole internet against me? Zegler admitted that she only saw once the original version, and in times we live now, who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. We don't need a prince these days. We don't need a prince. Men these days, they aren't looking for true love. They don't need it. She's dreaming about becoming a leader. She knows she can be. And the hilarious point is, so the commenter goes on to say, and the hilarious point is, how could it be otherwise? Disney lets her do it. Bob the wannabe businessman, Iger fails again. One box office bomb after another. And with Snow White, Disney is destroying another important legacy of their own. While they still have some brands which they could still destroy, maybe it's the new business plan of Bob Iger. It seems that they got full permission of the Disney board in the last week to go with the program, and hopefully that will be the end of the family-friendly company. Yeah, a lot of people are falling out with Disney. It's on a decline at the moment. You know, their live-action films are doing bad. You know, their streaming service isn't looking good. So yeah, Super Skeleton. The people that fall for this movie will pay to see it. It will barely resemble Disney's classic Snow White in many ways, and it will bomb. That's it. End of story. And now how the media sells why it bombed is always the gag. You know, it's based on racism, xenophobia, sexism, blah, blah, blah. If you don't go and watch something, then you're a sexist, you're a racist, you didn't like it, blah. Yeah. You can't win either way. I would like to take all these new age feminists and put them in a deserted island. Oh, that's commentary. That's like attacking people, so I'm not going to read that. They literally promised their love in a wishing well scene, you know, the beginning. Yeah, so that's just some of the comments here to this article, guys. Personally, I think her comments are just ridiculously silly. She's turning her audience against her way before the movies came out. Her comments are flippant, and just I think that she's turning people off to herself as an actress, herself as a public figure, and she's doing a disservice to marketing this film way before it's come out with the comments that she's making. If you're remaking any kind of film and you start bashing the original film, that's going to get your audience's back up before you've even come out with your project to bash on the original. If you don't like the original, then don't partake in the remake of it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this article. Let me know about your comments, what you think of what Rachel Zegler said. Do you agree with her comments? Do you disagree with it? Do you think that they're changing way too much of the original content to make it a Snow White movie? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Jump into the comment section. I will see you soon.